meeting in order, please. Representative, will you do the invocation for me, please, sir?
Let us bow for a moment of prayer. Eternal God, we come now thanking you, Lord God, for your grace and your mercy upon our community, Lord God, every resident, Lord God, every home, Lord, and Lord, every business and organization, Father. We just thank you for the favor that you have shown us, Lord God. We thank you for this governing body this evening, Father, as we come together to take care of the business of our community. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge. And Lord, please don't forget the understanding, Lord, that we might make the best decisions that we can possibly make and give you the glory. Father, come into our midst now, Lord, and be for us what we cannot be for ourselves, but give us the courage, Lord, to be all that you have created us to be. These blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the budget workshop from May 8, 2014. Council's pleasure.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? District 1?
District 1 votes yes.
District 3?
District 3 votes no.
District 4?
District 4 votes yes.
District 5?
Yes.
6?
No.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And then we have the minutes from the regular council meeting of May 12, 2014. What is council's pleasure on that, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion, I hear a second.
I'll second.
Charles and then Ms. Taylor. Any discussion? District 1?
District 1 votes yes.
District 3?
District 3 votes yes.
4?
District 4 votes yes.
5?
Yes.
6?
No.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And then we have the special council meeting, May 21st, 2014.
Motion to approve.
Motion, I hear a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? District 1?
District 1 votes yes.
3?
District 3 votes no.
4?
District 4 votes yes.
5?
Yes.
6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And then lastly, the special council meeting, June 2nd, 2014.
Motion to second.
Motion second, any discussion? District 1?
District 1 votes yes.
2?
No. That's 3.
Excuse me. 3 is no?
No.
4?
District 4 votes yes.
5?
Yes.
6?
No.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
I vote yes. Thank you. Now, the next regular council meeting is July 14th, right here. I have a letter of appreciation from Lexington School District 3 that they asked if we would read into the minutes of this meeting. And this says, Dear Joanne, on behalf of the employees of Lexington County School District 3, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the town of Batesburg-Leesville and you for allowing the district to use Leesville College Park for our first Panthers in the Park event on June 3rd. The park was the perfect venue for the celebration of another successful school year, and we appreciate your allowing us to use it at no charge. Lexington 3 is already working on next year's Panthers in the Park because of the tremendous positive responses we received from our employees. It was a wonderful morale-building event and made the end of the school year a very special time for all. Again, thank you for allowing Lexington District 3 to use Leesville College Park for our Panthers in the Park event. We also appreciate your continued support of not only our students, but also our district. We are so pleased to have such a strong partnership with our town and look forward to continuing this partnership for many years to come. Working together, we can make Batesburg-Leesville and Lexington County School District 3 an even better place to live, learn, and work. Please let me know if there is ever anything I can do for you. Sincerely, Judy Turner Fox, Director of Public Information for the district. And now to department heads. Councilman Liddell is on here, so we'll skip several amendments. EPAC.
There's no EPAC meeting.
Okay, thank you. Reverend Jenkins. Economic Development.
Economic Development Committee did meet on June 5th, I believe it was last Thursday. President Brent Shealy called me to order at 7:05 and stated the purpose of the organization, and which is to it is the mission of the Economic Development Committee to improve the quality of life for the citizens of Batesburg-Leesville, area by creating a business-friendly community environment. And from there, he went on into the agenda, and the first item was updates on the water project, industrial park, and pennies for progress, and any other updates. Discussion was placed on the floor for the update on the water project, and it was stated that there were no updates to council in terms of the water project at the current time. There were no updates on the industrial park at the current time, and the last update was the engineering had been approved by council, but no updates in terms of its completion. Pennies for progress still pending, and the items were on the agenda for the Batesburg-Leesville projects, high on the agenda, which was a positive by all of the people, members of the committee. The President Shealy discussed next on the agenda the industry appreciation report, which was held at Southern Occasions last month, and how pleased he was and the response that he had gotten from the local businesses as to their appreciation for the town, and the chamber showing their appreciation for the various companies. And he said all of the feedback was very positive. He was very, very pleased with the committee for putting on that appreciation, and said that it was a job well done. Mike Taylor announced that at the next chamber meeting on the 19th of this month, the chamber will highlight Ansaldo, and the meeting will be held at Ansaldo, and they will give a tour of the plant over at Ansaldo. So that's continued positive feedback, and as we put forth an effort to show our appreciation for the businesses in our community. Next on the agenda was the newly formed subcommittee, which they didn't have a name, just called themselves the subcommittee, headed up by former Mayor Clavy Edmond. And Clavy gave a report that he, Brent, Lance Ashall, and Assistant Town Manager Ted Luckadoo, and Mike Taylor, President of the Chamber, volunteered to serve on that committee. And the committee did meet and to discuss ways that the town, the school district, and the Economic Development Committee can communicate more effectively together to solve some of the issues that are facing our community. And they have another meeting planned for, I believe, this month, in order to continue that dialogue and discussion. And they will report back to the EDC committee once they form those recommendations. Next on the agenda was the town budget, and I reported that council had met and asked the staff to present a budget with an increase of 9.05 mils to a 10.2 mil increase in the millage rate for the citizens of Batesburg-Leesville, and that we would have first reading at our next meeting, which is tonight, and that was the only thing discussed there. President Shealy thanked everybody, reminded us of the goals of the Economic Development Committee for 2014, which was to complete sidewalks on Highway number 1, is what they would like to see done, to beautify and maintain entrance signs into the town, to implement plans for in-town beautification and tangible progress in the industrial park, with the hope of attracting businesses to our community, which in turn would bring new jobs. President Shealy then closed the meeting at that time. Thank you.
Chief Oswald.
Just wanted to report tonight, last week we had received a notice of one of the last grants we put in for. This was under the South Carolina Department of Public Safety Office Highway Safety Program, Justice Program. We had put in for the third and final year of our criminal domestic violence investigator. Well, she's a criminal domestic violence, child abuse, and elder abuse investigator. And that was a 3-year possible grant that you had to put in for it every year. We had put in for the third and final year of that grant, and it was approved at $57,000. That is a 90-team grant. The other two things that we put in for under traffic enforcement were replacement cameras for our patrol cars and a thermal imager, which is similar to night vision. Both of those were denied. A little bit of information on those traffic enforcement cameras. Back in the late 90s, everyone in the state were given funds from ticket assessment fees to put cameras in the car, and after that was accomplished, the legislation passed laws, part of the DUI laws and traffic enforcement laws, that cameras have to be in patrol cars. Well, since then, though, no one has put out the money to replace the cameras. We're using cameras that have been in cars since the 90s. They're VHS, if that tells you anything about how old the cameras are. And they're beginning to cause us a lot of problems. And that's why we put in for a replacement under this grant, but that was turned down. So we're in kind of a bind now that the law requires us to have working cameras in the cars, but yet these cameras are ancient by electronic standards. They're ancient. And so we're trying to figure out ways to replace those. Thank you.
What is what you're talking
About understated bid right now, the ones that they're putting in the highway patrol, replacing theirs with, of course, digital cameras. They're about, I think the state grant was 32, is that right? Around 3,200 per camera, per car is what they are. And they
that would be installed.
Well, they install them the first time. After that, our shop changes them over when we replace cars. Our shop, our sales replace them, so there's no cost there. We have to pay after the first 1 or 2 years. I forgot what the warranty is. We have to pay for any repairs to them ourselves, but we swap them out ourselves. Digital cameras will be nowhere near as complicated in the wiring process as the VHS ones were. The VHS one had a wiring harness about half the big around your arm. It went from the trunk to the front with hook, because see, the camera has to be hooked to the blue light, so when you turn the blue lights on, the camera comes on, and it's also hooked to the radar unit, so when your speed of your radar is reflected on the screen of the camera, all that has to be wired. And fortunate enough, our shop has learned how to wire them themselves, and they've been keeping them up as best they can.
Do we have any digital cameras?
No.
No.
Can those things be done wirelessly?
No, not the
Like
cars.
Bluetooth?
Not the cars, no.
How many cars are we talking about?
Well, we have 18 patrol cars that they have. They have to be, the way the law reads, they have to be in cars that could be used at any time for the enforcement of traffic. So you're talking about all your marked patrol units, basically. We do not have them in the unmarked cars that are used by the administrators, like myself, the major, the lieutenant, the captain. We don't have them in our cars, so that would be 18 instead. Yeah, 18 patrol cars, excuse me, instead of, if I said 20. So it would be 18 of them. What we,
Excluding you, the four of you?
yeah, we don't put them in our cars because the law says they have to be in cars. Now, that doesn't say we can't stop the car. It says exclusively, not exclusive, excuse me, that on a regular patrol basis can be used for are used for the enforcement of traffic laws. So that's all our uniform officers in their marked patrol cars. But we did not interpret that law, most departments don't, for cars such as myself, like I said, the major, the captain, which may stop a car once in a month's time, but not on a regular basis.
Okay, did they give you a set date, that you have to be within the law?
Well, we are within the law, we have them. I'm just saying.
Oh, you want, yeah, we got to.
I'm just saying they're extremely hard to keep up anymore because they're getting so old and repairs are getting to be just terrible on them. For instance, we had a DUI trial, a jury trial requested on one, and I'm sure that's why the lawyer requested the jury trial last week that the officer ended up working out the deal with because the audio on her camera was terrible. You couldn't pick up even half of what she was saying or what the suspect was saying because the audio on her remote mic was messing up so bad. And it's been in the repair shop a half a dozen times for that problem, and it's still messing up. Now, the highway department has been extremely helpful for us taking sometimes if we sneak them in to their shop over there and they kind of work on it, off to the side. Maybe I shouldn't say that in public, but they help us out. They're helping us out. And they work on them in their shop, and the ones that have been extremely bad and we can't fix them ourselves, and they've helped us a lot on that. They don't charge us anything, they just work on it. And they worked on that one, and they just basically said the last time it worn out, there wasn't anything they could do for it.
Yeah, that's true. When you have those used, the cars that's our old police cars, what do we do with them?
We take them to the auction down at Ross and run them through the auction. The way the law reads on that, you have to take sealed bids or auction, and it's been just a lot easier. And in most cases, we get more farm by running them through the auction down there than trying to get sealed bids on them. So we just run them through the auction.
Take some of that money and start replacing?
Well, it goes back in general fund. When we get that money, we sell them, it goes to general fund.
Okay. Thank you, sir, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief Hendricks.
Thank you.
Good evening. Just one item that I wanted to pass along to you this evening. Last week, we received our most recent ISO update. In 2001, we received a Class 4. Last week, we received notification we've been increased to a Class 3, so we've improved significantly. So hopefully you'll see a slight reduction in homeowners insurance as well as commercial insurance. We are the first department in Lexington and West Louisiana counties to receive a Class 3 rating, and all this information in your handout. Just a little bit of clarification, it's actually a 3/3Y, so it's a Class 3 for within 1,000 feet of a hydrant, which is most of the town limits. The 3Y will apply to properties outside of 1,000 feet, which is mainly our Saluda County contract area. If you live outside of town in Lexington County, which obviously y'all live in town, that is covered by Lexington County Fire Service. Just 6.6% of fire departments in the country have a Class 3 or better rating, just 3,220 out of nearly 50,000 departments. And statewide, there's only 60 departments based on the most recent data with Class 3 or better. And just for your information, of the 48 that reported their budget information to the South Carolina Firefighters Association, 46 of them have a larger budget than us. And of the 54 that reported their population, 46 have a larger. So we're kind of a small fish in a big pond. So, but there's some data, just some information for you. I think it's a great job by the department. We have full paid staff, 32 volunteers. And, two of the biggest areas that we need to improve on are personnel and training. Training, they expect each firefighter to have 20 hours a month or 240 hours over a year. It's a lot to ask of volunteers, so we got about 50% of that. So an average of about 120 hours per person. And then personnel, volunteers only count as a third of the paid firefighter when they arrive on scene. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. So while we averaged about 20 volunteers per fire call over the 3-year study, we only got about a third of the credible personnel. So 5 out of 15 points there. You might have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell them what ISO gave the acronym, but tell us what it means?
Okay, ISO, it stands for Insurance Services Office. They are an independent organization that will go around and study, analyze fire departments across the country. Then they sell their data to insurance companies, and that is the information that insurance companies use to base what your homeowners or business insurance is. So the lower the score, class 3 is better than 4, you tend to have lower rates. It is still up to the insurance company, but hopefully you can. It goes into effect September 1st, so hopefully you can call and maybe get a little reduction on your homeowners or business insurance.
So that's my next question to you. How will the residents of Batesburg-Leesville know to? Is there something automatically happen, or do they need to notify their property insurance company, and tell them that, hey, we're under the 3, we got a 3/3Y rating now.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're supposed to, my understanding, I'm not an insurance guy, but supposedly annually they do review your policy, and at that point they should identify that it goes from 4 to 3. It should be an automatic, but just like any other system, you may follow up and check with them.
So it wouldn't hurt the citizens just to call and check. So after September 1st, hey, we're here. Now we want to know we get a discount. Okay, just want to make sure the public understands that. Thank you.
Any other questions?
This is the first time BNL has had an ISO rating this low, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Prior to 2001, we had a class 7. We jumped all the way to a 4, and now we've moved up to a 3. Obviously, the easy points have been acquired, so now it's a little bit tougher to inch your way up. But we're solidly in a 3. We're almost midway between them. So we're at 74.5 points. 80 to get you to class 2.
Big kudos to
White Shield is one of our volunteers, and our assistant chief Shane Summers here. Obviously, the hard work of all the firefighters is what makes a difference.
you deserve the privilege to maintain those bragging rights.
Go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Ms. Taylor?
Council has received the check registers and the financial statements for the month of May. Just a reminder that June the 23rd is the public hearing on the budget and second reading also. I'd like to give an update on the industrial park site. We received this from Kyle Clampett. The survey is in progress and will be 100% complete this month. Geotechnical exploration is in process and will be 100% this month. We're in the design phase and will be completed in July. We are in the permitting process and will be completed in August. As we progress through the design and permitting process, then we will continue to keep you updated. In summer, we should be through with the design permitting process in August, and at that point, we will need to determine when to go forward with the bidding and the construction phase. We had several meetings this month in reference to the Batesburg Park court paving. That's moving along. Mitchell Street, Norfolk Southern is still a holdup, for us on that. Hopefully, the next couple months we'll have that squared away and we can close out that project as well.
Excuse me, Joanne, Ms. Taylor, June the 23rd, at what time?
7 o'clock
At 7 where?
here.
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody understand that one.
Okay.
I have a question. Has the engineering been completed on the industrial park?
This was your talking about Kyle Clampett.
The survey and the geotechnical exploration is in progress, and it should be 100% complete by this end of this month.
I believe the actual engineering and design was what, 50% complete?
It does say.
I think it was around 50%.
50% complete.
So August is projected timeline for being finished. Okay.
I have a question. Joanne, have you submitted a permit application to DHEC for that?
Have we submitted a permit to DHEC?
Yeah, are we gonna be increasing our intake, what we put into the river? I mean, are we gonna be expanding our plant to accept that waste?
No. We
All
won't
right,
be
so have-
expanding our plant, no.
Okay, so we're gonna stay with our permitted limits?
Right.
Okay, now have we submitted a permit to DHEC at this point for that?
Not at this point, no.
And how much is the total cost of this project to the town?
We won't know that until they finish this portion of it. Then they'll get back to us on how much the cost will be.
Okay, so we have no idea, you don't have a ballpark? Is it $1 million and $2 million, $3 million?
Until they finish this part of it, get the engineering and all the costs back to us. And what they
Okay,
say
so we don't have any permits, and we don't have any idea what this is gonna cost.
we won't know that till they're complete with their work.
Okay.
Do you know where, when we do know what it's gonna cost, do you know where that money is gonna come from?
Like I say, there's a bunch of avenues that we're looking at, but until we know the final cost, what that's going to be.
Is that something that's within our current budget that we're gonna be voting on? Have you,
We're trying to look for additional funds outside. But
So that's not-
again, we won't know until they give us that final figure.
okay,
At
so
this point.
the industrial park improvements are not included in FY 2015's budget, the budget we're about to vote. Okay, so that has to come outside of the budget.
Okay, on the new business. Item A is going to be deferred. If you notice, we didn't have a public hearing at the beginning of the meeting. The wrong tax map number has been publicized, so it will have to be re-advertised. So we will defer first reading on the zoning change until that public hearing has been held, if you would please.
I'd like to make a motion, we table this till next month after it's been properly advertised.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? District 1,
District 1 votes yes.
2, excuse me, 3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
District 4 votes yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and I vote yes to table. Thank you. Now, first reading on setting the tax millage rate for fiscal year 2014-15 at 99.50 mils. Council's pleasure.
Might not be my pleasure, but I'll make the motion if you would.
We have a motion from Mr. Pennick. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Ms. Taylor. Discussion.
I have 3 questions for the staff on this. The first question is that we added 2 positions, salary positions, administrative positions in the budget that were not in the budget for the past 12 years. Is that correct?
We've added code enforcement, and then we switched an employee from the enterprise fund into the administration side.
Okay, but we've also added 2 administrative positions that have not been in the budget for the last 12 years. Is that correct?
What administrative positions are you?
Well, we added an assistant town manager, correct?
Right.
That hasn't been in the budget for the last 12 years. We've also added a public works director,
Correct.
and that wasn't in the budget for the last 12 years, correct?
Absolutely correct.
Okay, now, these salaries that are representing an increase over the last 12 years seems to be the exact amount of the tax revenue that will be generated annually from this tax hike. Is that correct?
No, sir, that's not correct.
Okay, how much are we gonna be,
We had a balanced budget with all of those, with except with the code enforcement officer. We had a balanced budget with those in the budget without any tax increase. And tax
Okay, so-
increase is coming because of capital items and the 2% cost of living.
okay, so am I to understand that our general fund is stretched to the point where we don't have money to do routine maintenance and normal spending?
You're talking about as far as for repair for vehicles and such?
Correct.
Right.
Operating.
If we'd have if we'd have had not had a tax increase, there's money in there for maintenance and stuff on vehicles.
I'm talking about the
There's
things that staff has said that we needed, police cars, backhoes, bulldozers. These are things that most local towns trade in and out day to day. This is operating expense. Is that what you're saying?
no operating for
For the
purchasing
town.
capital items.
Well, just for the town. You need a backhoe, you need a
Right.
bulldozer, you need police
Those
cars.
are capital items that we have.
Right, but these are
money
normal
to purchase.
things, normal day-to-day things that most towns
Right.
budget for.
Right.
Most towns buy them.
Okay, so, and without this tax increase, we would not be able to do that, correct?
No.
Okay. Now, let's go into the enterprise fund. Okay, now what is the cost of the new water plant?
We don't have that in. The PDR has been sent to rural development and we're waiting to have a meeting with them.
Okay, what are we estimating that cost to be?
What am I estimating that cost to be?
Well, what is the town estimate? I mean, we have to have some idea.
But, what was the last cost of council? I mean, I don't.
I'm asking you, I mean, I don't know. What,
was it
you
last-
guys are the staff, y'all have to
Well,
have
I didn't
some
come
idea.
prepared to answer that question, so this
Well, we're
is
doing the
budget.
budget,
This
yeah.
is budget.
That doesn't have anything
Well,
to
that-
do with
that is-
establishing the
that is-
village rate for the town, though. Village
This
rate
is-
is strictly based on tax
Madam Mayor,
revenue.
I think I have the floor, and we're talking about the budget. The budget includes the enterprise side and the general fund
But we're
side.
talking about millage rate, which is.
I understand, but the millage rate, if you set the millage
It
rate.
involves tax revenue.
If
So it's a
you-
point of order that we're talking about tax revenue, not enterprise.
Madam Mayor, if you set this millage, you automatically set the parameters for the budget. So you have to ask
The
this
enterprise
question,
fund.
is the enterprise fund part of the budget?
Millage is strictly dealing with tax revenue.
Right, and if we set the tax revenue, that gives you the parameters for what your budget is.
That has no impact on the enterprise fund. It only deals with the general operating fund, the general fund.
So, you're saying that the enterprise fund has nothing to do with the overall general,
I did
overall
not, no,
budget?
sir, I did not say that. Those
Okay,
are
we're
words
talking about the
in my mouth.
overall budget.
We're talking about, right now, this motion is for setting the millage.
Right, and the village
Millage deals
dictates.
with exclusively with tax revenue.
Exactly.
It has
What are you gonna do
absolutely
with tax
no
revenue?
impact on the enterprise
What are
fund.
you gonna do with the tax revenue?
That runs the general fund, not the enterprise fund.
Okay, but so the enterprise fund is not part of the budget.
I didn't say it was part of the
Okay,
budget.
so we
We're
talk
not
about-
talking budget, Mr. Kane, we're
Well,
talking,
Rita, I know you don't want her to answer these questions, but,
sir, you
the
don't
the
make such
question
guesses
is
about me.
very simple. What is this, water project gonna cost us? Because we need to know the whole picture of the general fund and the enterprise fund before we make a budgetary decision.
Again, that has nothing to do with setting the tax millage.
Okay, well, do you mind if she answers that question?
It has absolutely no
Okay,
bearing
but do you
on the
mind
tax
if
millage
she
rate.
answers that question?
It has no bearing. on
Okay,
tax
but
millage
can
rate.
she answer that question?
No, it has nothing to do with tax.
Okay, what's all you have to say? I understand y'all don't want to.
No, you don't understand that at all, sir.
So I can bring this back up when we go into.
Yes, sir, you certainly may.
Okay, thank you.
Question. I'm listening at enterprise, I'm listening at general budget. Bottom line, underneath everything, you got, where is the money coming from? It comes from the taxpayers. I mean, it can be set aside in different ways, enterprise, general fund, correct me if I'm wrong, but the bottom line, where does the money come from? where does the dollars come from to put into enterprise? Where does the money come from to put into other areas?
The item on the table right now is setting the tax millage rate.
I got that, and I thought that we said it was gonna be 10.2, and
No,
not
wait,
the.
that's the increase, it's the percentage
Right,
increase.
that's the increase,
The
yeah,
total tax millage rate
Rate,
is
okay.
99.50.
got you there.
That's
Okay.
where the 10.2% took us, was up to
Right.
99.5.
Okay, I'm clear on that, but we're not gonna discuss, bottom line, where are all these dollars gonna come from?
District 1,
What else come in, Madam Mayor?
Wait a minute. You
In
can't-
the-
you can't speak.
uh,
Just call for a vote. I've been told that too many times. She got to go ahead, you can't say nothing now, she called the number one.
But she is not voting.
No, you didn't have to. Vote. I'm right about this now, we're gonna do it right. Go ahead, number one.
District 1 votes yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes no.
District 4,
District 4 votes no.
District 5,
Votes yes.
6,
No,
7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Now, the first reading on the 2014-2015 proposed budget for the town of Batesburg-Leesville. You got the figures? Right at yours. All right, projected revenue or projected budget for the general fund is $3,711,357,000. And the budget for the enterprise fund is $2,802,820. Do I hear a motion to adopt? Oh, excuse me,
You have victims assistance, which is
Excuse me,
also
yeah.
$10,000.
$10,000 on victims assistance. Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Move to accept the budget as proposed.
Is there a second?
A second.
Now, discussion on the budget.
I have discussion. We have raised the millage from 90.05 to 99.5, 10.2% increase. Dr. Floyd informed us at the Economic Development Committee meeting that the school district is going to raise their taxes by 5.9%. The county is asking the citizens to raise the county taxes by 1%, which will be
You're talking about the bond referendum, that's a 1
Right.
cent, not 1%. It's a 1 cent sales tax.
just 1%, right?
1 cent.
1 cent. That's not 1%.
1 cent on the dollar.
Right, but that's not
It's a
1% of the
sales
overall
tax.
budget. Sales tax, it's not a tax.
Well, I'm just talking about
It's-
percentages
okay,
right now.
But 1 cent is.
But that's a total, if everything, well, we just approved the 99.5, and the school board is planning to raise 5.9. And if the voters vote the 1 cent or 1% penny tax, which is 1% or 1 cent on the dollar, that would be 17.1% increase to the citizens of Lexington County and Batesburg-Leesville community.
Be gladly now.
Now, the businesses,
excuse me, what was that, the total, I couldn't hear it.
17.1%.
Okay, 17.1% for the town of
Potential tax
Batesburg-Leesville.
increase this year.
You can't add
16.1 with a
You can't add
penny
the one-
increase.
Okay.
Penny is not percentage.
Okay, 16.1 plus a penny. A penny on the dollar.
Plus a penny on the dollar, 1 cent on the dollar.
That's not a percentage tax increase. I see what you're saying, it's not a percentage tax
I
increase.
got 16.1% plus the 1 cent, county tax,
Sales tax.
sales tax, right, in the entire county. Most of the grants that we receive in the Batesburg-Leesville area, including the school district, is based upon low-income families. And I think that 16.1 is putting an undue burden on the already strapped low-income households' budget. And I just think it's not fair that we do that. There are other ways that we can raise the revenue that we need, other than burden the lower income, which are struggling now to pay their bills, as it has been addressed in this chamber. People are struggling to pay their water bills, struggling to pay their taxes. I've seen foreclosures on homes, even in my district, of homes that taxes have not been paid on and whatnot. And I just think that's an undue burden. But nevertheless, we've already approved our 10.2% increase. And
This is the first reading.
right, we did first reading, right, which was approved.
This is what this is.
Right, right. And also, every department received at least some of what they asked for, except council. Council asked for increases in certain areas, and I won't even get into details, but we know what those were. And those were seemed to not even be considered. But I checked the record, and I looked up other towns of our size. Every town in the state of South Carolina in the size population category, Batesburg-Leesville, takes care of their council better than Batesburg-Leesville does. It was just a few years ago that we got what we receive now, $84 a month stipend, $975 for training and travel and training, which is not nearly enough for council to get the information and the training that they need to be effective council individuals. And it's reflected in this council. It's obvious that more training is needed. And for this council to neglect the governing body, I think is just a mistake on our part to do that. Because we need the knowledge and the experience and the training, and I believe that's why there's such a high turnover on council, why people do not take council seriously, and why even sitting council members would not even come to council meetings, which they are committed to doing, because it's not that important to them. It's not because of any compensation, but it's the way that council is treated here in the Batesburg-Leesville area. And I think that needs to change if we want to move forward as a progressive town and a town that wants to put forth the image that it wants to grow and prosper. We're going to have to take care of the head, which is the governing body, and that is sitting council. And we're the only town that doesn't do that in this entire state, if you will check the numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
May I
Yes,
ask my
sir.
question?
Yes, sir. You sure
Okay. In the enterprise fund, Ms. Taylor, tell me, what is the total cost for the water project?
I'm going to say 19 million.
Okay.
Okay, and don't hold me that, please, Councilman Kane. But I'm just saying 19, okay,
Let's say that's 19. How you gonna pay for it?
If council will look in their departmental reserve account, and I think this has been brought up before, there's a reserve money in there that the payment will be approximately $59,000.
What do we use our reserve money for now?
For the consent order items that he has put us under as far as water tanks, some upgrades to the water plant.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay.
And so, go ahead, you said you were telling us how you're gonna pay for it.
Oh, it's in the reserve, if council will look in their DPW, non-departmental reserve account.
How much of that reserve are you gonna use to, service the $19 million loan?
Do what now, sir?
How much of the, reserve money are you gonna use to service the $19 million loan, to pay the,
I think that after we looked at it, that after we made the payment, we would still be able to put $11,000 still into the reserve account.
How much is that, that amount, the payment, roughly?
I just said probably 59,000 a payment.
It's about $59,000 per month?
Yes.
69.
Huh?
Yes.
I mean, if you do 11, you said that, did you not say the payment would run about 58,000, right?
Right.
58, 59, and then we would, and after, when we have to start making the water payments, then we would still have $11,000 left in there? Right, to keep in the reserves. So at this point right now, we're putting approximately 69,000 away per month. Is that what I'm hearing?
Something like that, right?
Yes. That's how I got 69.
Okay, so now am I still on the floor?
I'm sure, yes, I'm sorry, I just want to
Yes,
share
sir.
that.
No, that's good information, I'm glad you said, okay, so now, so we're gonna have $11,000 per
They're
month.
about, okay.
Okay, how much, you say about, how much? For sure. If you take
I don't know
59,000.
that for now. We
Okay,
don't
but
know
if you
that.
take, say, let's use your number, 59,000. If you take 59,000, how much would be left?
50
Per month?
Yes.
per month?
Yeah.
I just said approximately 11,000 that we'd still be able.
Okay, so you can show,
Approximately.
you can show in the budget $11,000 after, so you can show in the budget $66,000 per month.
What now?
You can show in the budget $66,000 per month,
It's
right?
in the reserve account, sir.
Right, you can show that, that's in there.
It's in there.
Okay, so we got $11,000 per month. How much is how much are you spending now per month on the consent vote?
I have to go back and look at that. We've done.
Is it more than 11,000 per month?
I don't know, we've done upgrades to the water plant, so I can't answer that.
With the upgrades to water
I
plant,
can't,
was it more than 11,000?
I can't answer that.
But are we paying as we go with the repairs?
Yes.
Okay, so, and my concern is this, all right? We are already clearly maxed out on the general fund side because we're raising taxes to pay for normal operating expenses. When we paid the $19 million for the water plant, and we're using reserve funds to pay that, $60,000 per month. Now we've maxed out on our enterprise fund and our general fund. And that means, in a real world scenario, we're broke. If we do that, you can't keep taxing, you can't raise taxes again next year to do operating expenses. If anything goes wrong, if that enterprise fund, if that 19 million turns into 22 million, you don't have enough money in your reserve fund to pay the note. Okay, so we're teetering on disaster right now with this budget. We need to do something other than what we're doing, folks. And that's my point. And that's my concern. And I can see by the faces up here, it's not their concern. It's not staff's concern. But the citizens should be very concerned that we are maxed out. We can sit here and pretend like that's not true, or I don't know, or I wasn't here and I'm new, but that's the reality. Everybody understands what she just said. We maxed out.
Got a call for the question. District 1,
District 1 votes yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes no.
District 4,
District 4 votes no.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
No?
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and I vote yes to the budget. We've got an amended agreement with Gilbert Summit Water District. With the widening of Highway 1, their feet's being held to the fire to relocate some of their water lines. And according to Mark Forrester, they've rolled those numbers around as much as they can to do everything they can to avoid a rate increase, but they can't find any way around it. So the proposed agreement is to increase the wholesale water rate to Batesburg-Leesville from $1.80 per 1,000 gallons with a base rate of 100,000 gallons at $180 to $2 per 1,000 gallons with a base rate of $200. That's a 20 cents per 1,000 increase. Am I on cue? And what does that do to us? Is that just something we pass on, or how is that going to impact us with their rate increase?
We're also looking at Ridge Spring as a rate increase for them also this year.
Okay.
So you said that, say what? How will that affect the town of Batesburg, the citizens of Batesburg-Leesville?
I was just asking if
I was saying, do we-
no, we're not in discussion yet.
This is
because
taking
they have-
action from.
Yes, it will, because we'll have to adopt the new agreement with Gilbert Summit.
Okay, is that
At
what
the new rate of $2 per 1,000 with a base rate of $200 for the first 100,000 gallons.
are we discussing it or?
We need a motion, please.
Excuse me.
We need a motion before we can begin discussion. Is there a motion to adopt Gilbert Summit's new rate proposal?
At least for the purpose of discussion, I will.
Rob, have we got a second?
For the purpose of discussion. It doesn't, when y'all say that, it means nothing. For the purpose of discussion, what does that mean?
It gives you my intent.
Once you put the motion on the
Okay.
floor, it's a motion on the floor.
Ms. Kathy, you want to ask a question?
Okay.
Um,
Trying to clarify.
Now, would you give us clarification what that means to the citizens of Batesburg-Leesville?
For Gilbert Summit.
Yeah, from
It's
Gilbert
It's
Summit.
an increase from
That
Gilbert
20
Summit.
cent, how will that affect, will the people of Batesburg-Leesville have to fork out the money for that?
No, this feeds the Harbor Watch area, the lake area. This is what this feeds. This does not feed Batesburg-Leesville, so it will not affect the citizens of Batesburg-Leesville.
This is out of 378. Roughly, Joanne, do you know, in a month's time or a year's time, how many 100,000 gallons we purchase from Gilbert Summit out there?
Not for sure.
Okay. And you mentioned, as an aside, you mentioned something about coming up with Ridge Spring. That's the reverse thing. That's somewhere where we sell the water to
Right,
them.
right.
Right.
So we're going to increase their water rates? Is that what you're saying? To Rich Spring, let's be very specific. We're going to, Batesburg-Leesville will start, we will increase the rates to Rich Spring Manhattan.
Correct.
How much?
It'll go from $1.93 to $2.12.
Okay.
Won't Rich Spring have to agree to the increase?
Yes, sir, we've already spoken to them.
Mr. King?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that, this is we're sipping on a morphine cocktail here. And everybody's sitting here pretending like it ain't happening. When you gotta raise your rates out there in Harbor Watch and Gilbert, all these things are going up, going up, going up. We're not an attractive place to live. You understand that? We're not an attractive place to live. You got a minimally adequate school district. You just raised taxes to some of the highest mills in the county. The water bills were raised 27.7%. We're raising water bills on our neighbors all the way around. And there's no plan on council for new revenue sources, for growth, for building houses, for jobs, things that grow communities. Okay, we want to sit here year after year. We sat here for 12 years under Wiz, where we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And now we're going to sit here again, year after year, not planning for the future of this town.
All right, right now, we're
We are
discussing.
dying on, I'm still talking.
But we're still discussing
Okay,
Gilbert
and that's what I'm
Sumner.
talking about. Y'all ain't
No,
on
no,
point.
you're
Raising the rates at Gilbert
This,
Sumner.
they're raising the rates to us.
Exactly.
We didn't say we were raising them to the customers.
Well, how we gonna, if we're not gonna raise it to customers, how we gonna get paid? Ma'am?
But we
If you're not
increasing the
gonna-
rates. Do we increase the
It's
rates?
reflected in the budget, yes.
Okay, so you're gonna increase the rates on the customers, or the citizens of Batesburg are gonna absorb that?
You talking about the increase for our,
That's what we're talking
this is
about.
not concerned the citizens of Batesburg, this is.
How is it being paid for?
Do what?
How is it
The
being paid
customers
for?
out there pay for the water.
Okay, so we passing it on to the customers, all right. That's what I said, that we are raising the rates. We already raised the rates on our folks, 27.9%. We're raising the rates on Rich Spring folks, and we're raising the rates out towards the lake. Okay, so you gotta understand there's no money coming in. We're dying. Community's dying, y'all. And we're sitting here acting like it's not, but that's fine. Warning signs. These are warning signs.
District 1,
District 1 votes yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes no.
District 4,
District 4 votes yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes?
District 7,
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Now we've got to approve the expense of tree removal and limb maintenance, for lack of a better term, for the 2 parks. Given what's just occurred in Irmo with the accident there, you want to address this?
Well, after the storm came through on Wilson Street Park and we had to have those trees removed, while he was here, I got him to give us a quote on doing an inspection on the rest of the park and also the Leesville Park. And this is the quote that he gave us back to remove, trim dead wood out of 22 trees, cut and remove 3 trees, grind 3 stumps at the Leesville Park, cut down and remove 1 tree and grind the stump at the Wilson Street Park. So this is what he found during his investigation of the 2 parks after the ice storm.
The total cost would be $8,100.
Correct.
Do I hear a motion?
Well, I think it's less expensive to pay $100 than it might be for a lawsuit.
Is that a motion?
I am in the process of making it, please.
Okay, well, let's not have discussion, let's have a motion.
So I make a motion that we accept it.
Is there a second?
I second.
Now, any discussion?
Have we sent this out to bid?
I just received a quote because he was in the park at that
Okay, but
time.
don't we have to send these out to bid?
We did a bid on the Wilson Street Park tree.
This $8,100 bucks,
We
do we
did
have
a
a bid
bid.
for it?
We did a bid on the Wilson Street Park. Mr. Bazaar came in low on that bid. I got him to give me a quote on the rest.
Right, we got that, but this is a whole new project. Don't we have to send this out for a bid? This is a new scope of work.
That's the reason I said it was a quote, not a bid.
Okay, well, I'm saying, we're about to vote to do it,
Right.
but this needs to go out to a bid.
Well, we can
So it
certainly
needs to
do
be
that.
tabled
We'll
until
come back
we
in
go out.
July.
Yeah, we
That's
need to
what-
table this
what
and
council
deal
desires
out.
to do.
Yeah,
Mr. King,
yes, sir.
consider, I tend to agree with you on that, so I'd like to table my motion.
Thank you. Bless you all.
I'll take my second.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Given what just happened in Irmo, the loss of life, unfortunate loss of life, I guess
Or
we
you
can
can
take
just-
ourselves.
Well, we can always close the park until we get it done. Okay, you don't have to let people be in the park
Okay,
in this big situation.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Madam Mayor, let's not just rush through that, because we're talking about lives here. if it's such a danger, and I love going to the parks, perhaps we need to shut it down until, for the notice to the public, until we can get the bids, in order to stay within the law and do the right thing. Anything over $5,000, is it?
Was it 5 or 10?
I don't know, I'm asking now.
What we can do is we're trying to have it bid by the 23rd of this month, when we come for a reconvene. We're trying to have it through bids for the June 23rd meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, you can cordon off the area that is in danger, correct?
I can get him to identify those trees.
Yeah, just cordon off so the folks won't be in that area. I mean, this is something that really should not have come to council until we had those bids.
Ms. Tanty, you're on deck.
Charles, I had decided I thought I would speak until I just heard you. On the workshop, did I not hear you say, council has been negligent, for God's sake, for in 8 years, 8.5 years, I missed 5 meetings. I have stood at this podium and said, you all are breaking the town, we're broke, the next step is bankruptcy. Until we're in the state paper as the poster child for small town problems, no one will believe it. But, you know, we're close because we are on the op-ed page. Us, Chapin, West Columbia. Well, they don't have a Mr. Kane. So I wonder what their problem is. The citizens won't be involved, and they have lazy council people. Now, I have been an advocate for council being paid, but in y'all's case, y'all owe us. I have stood here and said, guys, we're not raising taxes, which is $10 to $20 per household. We were taking a teaspoon and digging ourselves in debt. Then we wasted $1.2 million here. We've spent over $300,000 on land. We've paid cell engineering $100. We've collected impact fee money that was not used for what it was on and on and on. And just the other day, I gave Teddy a copy of the FOIA request that I had from Miss Judy from 2009 in about a 8-year period. He's going to update it for me. $1,600,000 was transferred from the enterprise fund into the general fund and used while our water and sewer plants were continually being degraded. And we wouldn't need to spend $600,000 right now just to correct the consent order from DHEC on our water towers had we been shepherding ourselves through the process. We are broke. We're teetering on bankruptcy. I assure you all of this. As we say in real estate is your profession. Politics is your business. When we put a $20 million investment in Saluda County, the doors of Lexington County, they're just waiting on us to actually do it. Will close on us tight as a tick. And all this economic development is not, you don't see it. Economic development, you see houses, you see a school system that is increasing. Let me say it, I say it every time. In 1972, when I graduated, we had 170 graduates. And last year, how many? The paper won't print it, but the Chronicle will this week. We are now at the bottom of municipalities in Lexington County in growth. We have made ourselves wholly undesirable, and this will not help us. And to talk about giving increased money to some people who have missed 30% of the meetings, and many of you, I hear the packet opening, the glue on the packet opening how many nights as people sat in here. You couldn't explain the water project as a whole. You guys couldn't get in your car and drive to the piece of property that we have purchased. What a disgrace. And honestly, for you to even ask, oh my, I promise you, we are in a world of trouble, deeper than you all know, and you'll never admit it. But That's fine.
Motion to adjourn?
Well, Mr. Madam, before we adjourn, I'd like to have the discussion.
Excuse me,
The discussion for, Madam Mayor,
sir.
the discussion from the budget to be reported verbatim, please. Ma'am.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Stand adjourned.
Any
Any questions?
I'm Burnett Hamilton from District 7. Just recently, we had our first Crime Watch meeting at the depot. We are actually into 2 months of this. Chief Oswald has been helpful, Officer Bryant, Mayor, Megan. At our last meeting we had 34 people there. We have discussed the crime problem, the drug problem, and there has been some things that have been discussed, and there have actually been some help received from City Hall in at least getting me some additional information. We are addressing also in our meeting that's coming up on June the 24th at 6:30 at the depot, we are having Lexington County Animal Service that will be there to have a discussion with the citizens about what they do and cannot do. DNR, I have been in touch with them of what they can do and not do in helping us. So we'll be handing out some information about that. I would like to invite everybody, whether you're even in District 7 or not, to come to this meeting. You are certainly welcome. And again, it'll be at 6:30 on June the 24th, which is Tuesday, at the depot.
Sir, can you make the crime stats for District 7 available to council?
Stats.
The crime stats. I mean, if District 7 is overrun with drugs and high crime volume, I'd like to see that. I'd like to know. And maybe you coordinate with all these agencies, y'all can report back to council the number of arrests that have happened in District 7, the number of drug stops and drug arrests in District 7, so that we all are aware of the crime rate in District 7.
Well, I'll try to answer that, but then again, Chief Oswald, if I'm wrong about this, straighten me out, okay? We have addressed where some drug-related problems were. The citizens of this District 7 in our previous meeting. And they were made aware to Officer Bryant and then also to Holloway, okay, which was very enlightening. They take that information and they go forward with it. Once they start going forward with it, we can ask questions, I suppose, but once they start an investigation, we're basically out of it. Is that not correct? Just because of what's going on.
So somebody made a report.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see the reports. How many reports were made
What does
about
that have to do with it?
I'm just asking, I'm asking a
We've
question.
got concerns.
I'm asking a question.
I know, but.
Okay, well, you stay out of it and let the man
No,
answer
I'm
the
not gonna
question.
stay out of it.
Okay,
because
what
I've
you
been
butting in for?
I'm
Let the man answer
asking
the
you what
question.
does his concern.
I'm asking the
and
gentleman,
neighborhood concern
I'm asking for
have to do with
information. I'm asking for information.
Mr. Hamilton,
If
you're not bound to
if you-
answer any of this. Council is
Anything
adjourned,
that you
so
don't
this
want to
is very
answer,
informal.
don't answer, but if you have
Stop
made.
badgering the citizens, Mr. Kane.
I'm not badgering the
Yes,
citizens,
you
I'm trying
are.
to ask you a question. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer, of course. You don't have to answer anything that that you don't want to answer. I just want to know how many reports of drugs and crime have you reported to the police? Was it 1, 2,
How many in your
3?
district?
I'm asking, how many was it, 1, 2, 3?
At the previous meeting, if I'm not mistaken, there were 2 that were addressed.
Okay.
Now, again, once we get this information or request, whichever way you want to put it, then it is in their hands and we step.
That's fine. All I want is, I just get that from the chief.
But you, if
How
you
many
would like,
reports?
why don't you come to our next meeting?
I don't, that's not, that doesn't interest me. I just want to know if there's a crime rate.
Right.
If there's no crime rate.
We're done.
I have a legit
Trying to aggravate
You
people.
use an acronym.
No, the neighbors are concerned about it.
Yeah, well, when you got a whole, all of two, read the reports.